Hello, my name is Anne-Marie Cannon, and I'm the host of Armchair Historians. What's your favorite history? Each episode begins with this one question. My guests come from all walks of life and are people who get really excited about a particular time, place, or person from our distant or not-so-distant past. The jumping-off point is where they become curious, then enter the rabbit hole into discovery, some through scholarly research, others through pop culture, documentaries, and other podcasts. We look at history through the filter of other people's eyes. Armchair Historians is a Belgian Rabbit production. Stay up to date with us through Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help to spread the word. Wherever you listen to your podcast, that is where you'll find us. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on your podcast platform of choice. You can also find us at armchairhistorians.com. Armchair Historians is an independent podcast. If you'd like to support the show, become a patron through Patreon or buy us a cup of coffee through Ko-fi. Links to both in the episode notes. Hello, fellow armchair historians. Anne-Marie here. In this mini-episode, I revisit a book I purchased in 2017 when my partner Bob and I went to Portsmouth, England, to see the state-of-the-art Mary Rose Museum. When I lived in London in 2012, I visited the Mary Rose, but they were in the process of a years-long restoration and construction of the new building. In case you don't know, the Mary Rose was the flagship of Henry VIII that served in his fleet for 34 years before sinking during the Battle of the Solent in 1545. As Henry watched from nearby Southsea Castle, the Mary Rose is definitely an episode in itself. I've been working on a series of books, historical fiction, with the working title of the Bedlam series. One of the main point-of-view characters, Tobias Good, is a man of color, and I so want to get his character right. It's tough, though, as the series takes place in Tudor England, and there's really not a lot of information about the Black Tudors. I was over the moon to find the book Black Tudors by historian, journalist, and researcher Miranda Kaufmann, which has definitely helped me to frame Tobias's character more clearly. Thank you, Miranda. Anyways, I found the book when I was at the Mary Rose Museum in 2017. So here's the thing. While we know there were people of African descent living in England during the Tudor period, there is relatively little evidence in the historical record to identify who these people were. Recent research by Miranda Kaufmann and her peers has uncovered evidence of over 200 people of African descent in the parish registers, which include baptismal, marriage, burials, and occupation records. People who not only lived in London, but throughout England. That's not to say there were only 200 people of color living in England during the Tudor period. There were most likely more. These are just the ones that scholarly research has uncovered up until now. Of all the Black Tudors, the most referenced and, according to John Blanke project director Michael O'Hajuro, the poster child of Black Tudors would be a man named John Blanke. The reason for John's fame is that there's actually 2 paintings that depict him. Ooh. Not only that, royal bookkeeping records identify John as one of the prestigious royal trumpeters. The record also identifies his salary increase request, special events John performed for, including the coronation of Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon.
Bow before your king.
It is believed that John came to England as part of the Spanish Catherine's entourage when she first traveled to England to marry Henry's older brother and heir to the throne, Arthur. However, Arthur passed away shortly after his marriage to Catherine. He was only 15, making Henry the new heir and eventually King of England. Henry in turn ends up marrying his dead brother's widow, Catherine of Aragon. John arrives to England in 1501 as part of Catherine's entourage. The first time we actually see him in the records is in 1507, and according to the royal bookkeeping records, in 1507, John was paid 8 pence per day for a total of 20 shillings per month.
Oh! Oh, man!
Yeah, I tried to do the math and use an online conversion calculator and whatnot, and well, let's just say math is not my strong point. What I can tell you is that £1, which is what John made per month, times 12 for the year in 1507, would be worth about $11,393 in today's money. He then shows up in 1509 when he plays at Henry VII's funeral. Then a few months later, at Henry VIII's coronation. Then in a bold move, sometime after 1509, John asks for a pay increase. Not just any pay increase, he asks for a backdated pay raise. And he gets it. In 1511, and this is where I believe his fate is sealed as the poster child for Black Tudors, John plays at the Westminster Tournament and is depicted twice in a 60-foot piece of art commemorating the event entitled The Great Tournament Roll of Westminster, becoming the only known Black Tudor depicted in art. Blanke appears on the Westminster Tournament Roll, dressed in the same grandeur as the other trumpeters. Blanke is pictured sitting on his horse, playing his trumpet. I can't do one or the other, let alone both at the same time. I am definitely impressed. Whereas John's fellow musicians appear without any headdress, John sports a colorful and ornately designed turban. The final appearance of John in the historical record appears in 1512, which indicates that John takes a wife. But we don't really know anything about who he married, unfortunately, and the only reason we know about his marriage at all is because it appears in the royal bookkeeping records that Henry VIII, for John's wedding, buys him a suit of clothes as a wedding gift.
Here.
Wow! Just wow! Thank you very, very much!
And that's where the trail ends in the historical record of John Blanke, poster child for Black Tudor history and trumpeter extraordinaire in the court of Henry VII and Henry VIII. There you have it, John Blanke in the Black Tudors. To find out more about the Black Tudors, be sure to check out our episode notes. Thanks for joining us and have a great week.